Hey guys, today is Friday, October 9th. It is 4:32 p.m. and the temperature outside is around 18 degrees Celsius. I'm here at King Station in the city's financial district, and the plan for this walk is to head outside and explore the financial district at rush hour. And then I'll duck into the path, which is the city's connected underground network, and I'll take a stroll through there and see how things are going before jumping back onto the subway. So I'm currently walking west on King Street West, and that was Yonge Street, which I was facing when I exited the station. There's a look at Commerce Court North, which was formerly the tallest building in the Commonwealth. I'll try to get away from this glare from the sun. So I think what I'll do is I'll turn north up Bay Street, and then I'll head down Adelaide Street and just kind of wander around to Union Station, which is on the south end of the financial district. There's a look towards the lobby at Scotia Plaza. And it is still unusually quiet for this area at rush hour. And things might be about to get a lot quieter in the near future, as the province of Ontario has just unleashed a whole new round of restrictions, which will impact the city of Toronto, the neighboring region of Peel, as well as the city of Ottawa.
Yeah, they didn't get to the speed. They didn't get to the spin cycle, which all that means.
This is Bay Street here. There's a look up at First Canadian Place, which is the tallest building in the city and the country of Canada. And that's the Mies van der Rohe designed TD Centre straight ahead. So a few weeks ago, it was announced that bars and restaurants would not be allowed to open past midnight, and that last call would be at 11 p.m. And that was in response to a rising number of coronavirus cases in the city. But those measures have been further expanded upon, as just a few hours ago, the Premier of Ontario announced that bars and restaurants would not be allowed to open for indoor dining. As well, gyms and fitness centers will be ordered to close, as well as movie theaters, for at least the next 30 days. And that is a very nice machine. So this is the intersection of Bay and Adelaide. That is the old City Hall straight ahead. It's one of the BA Centre towers where they famously filmed the show Suits. And I'm currently walking east on Adelaide. I know the plan was to walk west. But I just wanted to catch a glimpse of Scotia Plaza. That's the taller building on the left there, right next to the St. Regis Hotel and condo, formerly the Trump Tower. And maybe I'll cross over to the south side of Adelaide while I'm walking west here, just to get out of this glare. There is a bar just across the street that was closed down recently due to violating the health protocols in place due to the virus. And that establishment is King Taps, which I think is owned by the same company who operates the Cactus Club, which I'm about to walk by. There's a look at the Cactus Club. So it's my understanding that they'll only be open for takeout as well as outdoor service for at least the next 30 days, starting at midnight tonight. Although it seems they're well prepared for it with a number of heat lamps on the patio. That's good to see. Not that that's a place I would ever go to anyways. I really haven't been doing much of any indoor dining throughout the pandemic. I also believe the number of people allowed to attend various indoor activities will be limited, such as open houses and event venues. Pretty much everything but schools and classrooms, which is a bit of a contradiction on the part of the province. Adelaide Street is sort of on the northern part of the financial district. There's one more street just to the north of here, Richmond. Here's a look at that funky giant head. Maybe I'll cross the street if there's a break in traffic and get another look at it. I did post a video of this. It's just a few minutes long a few days ago. I first stumbled upon it during a live stream, actually. We'll see if there's a break in traffic here. If not, the view from over here will have to do.
It's gonna keep going.
This was installed in February. It was designed by a world-famous Spanish sculptor, I guess you would call him. His name is eluding me. And I'm just gonna cross back over to get away from this glare. I was originally going to do a morning walk around the financial district and path, but laziness got the better of me and I stayed in bed a little longer than I wanted to, so you're stuck with this afternoon video. There's a look south down York Street. It looks like there were some mounted police walking through here earlier, as I've noticed droppings all along Adelaide. I don't really know what the cleanup plan for those are, but it's kind of gross when you're riding your bike down the street and you have to dodge a pile of that stuff. It's bad enough trying to dodge the other reckless cyclists and drivers. And this is University Avenue I'm approaching, which is pretty much the edge of the financial district. And it looks like University is closed heading northbound for some reason. There's a police officer there redirecting traffic. You have to wonder what that's all about. Looks like it might just be this stretch of University. There's another officer on the other end. Oh, it looks like there's a large gathering just down there at University. It's probably some type of protest leading towards Queen's Park. Maybe I can ask one of these cops down here what the street closure is for. So this is south on University I'm now traveling. And I'm going to throw my mask on before I engage in speaking to someone. Well, maybe they're opening it back up right now. Looks like I was too late. This is St. Andrew Station, so I'm going to turn east down King Street and I'll cut through the TD Centre Courtyard. And I'll make my way down to Union Station along Front Street. And then I'll pop into the path and we'll take a look around what it's like indoors through there. It is a long weekend as Monday is Canadian Thanksgiving. And typically the Friday of a long weekend is less busy than usual here in the downtown core. During the summer, it's a lot less busy than usual, but even now, there'd be people taking the Friday off or leaving early to prepare for the Thanksgiving long weekend. But even then, it would certainly normally be much busier than this. So there is First Canadian Place from the other side. I used to work in one of the upper floors in that building. And one of the things the province is advising is that people in Toronto, Ottawa, and Peel do not leave their homes unless it's essential. So I guess that means I'm not supposed to be walking around with a camera talking to myself. There's a look into the TD Centre Courtyard. And there is King Taps, recently shut down by the city. It was one of 3 or 4 restaurants along King Street that were closed down. However, I think it's still quite healthy for people to get out and get some exercise, as long as you're not going out to socialize or directly contact other people face to face. I don't see the harm in going for a walk or a bike ride. In fact, I think it's kind of good for our mental health, especially with gyms being shut down. A lot of people mentioned that was sort of where they regained some of their sanity from the first lockdown. So this is the TD Centre I'm wandering through. So for those wondering if I will continue to film during this new phase of lockdowns, I will, but I will be mindful not to wander into places that are crowded. So there might be an influx of early morning walks and bike rides. Well, bike rides, it doesn't really matter. And I'll be walking through areas during off-peak hours, even though there really are no such things as peak hours anymore. And there's still going to be people complaining, leaving comments, saying, "What are you doing?" And one thing that sucks is I did buy a transit pass for the month. And the idea there was just to see if that would encourage me to get out more often and perhaps make videos when I otherwise wouldn't, since there's no longer that psychological barrier of having to pay a transit fare every time I leave. I thought I'll just pay it all at once, even though that might even work out to more than if I just did it individually. So that kind of sucks, because I'll try to limit my travel on the transit at least. Here's a freshly married couple.
Quarantine has actually been like really good.
So this is Wellington Street I'm heading east on. So I'll turn south down Bay Street, and then I'll head over front and pop into Union. Then I'll walk back up here through the path. I was going to find a subway station to end the walk at, but maybe I'll work my way back up to University Avenue just to see if that commotion is still going on there. There's kind of a neat view to the north. And I'll be popping into the Samsung store, which is at the Eaton Centre, just to pre-order a new phone, which I'll be using for live streaming. I think I've pretty much talked myself into getting the Galaxy S20 Fan Edition. As I look up at the Royal Bank Centre, I've already done videos where I've talked about a number of these buildings before. So this is south on a relatively empty Bay Street. I should be able to snag a nice view of the CN Tower looking east once I go around the corner, providing the sun doesn't have any better ideas. There's a look at one of the newer electric buses. I believe the TTC is claiming to have the largest fleet of green buses in North America. And that's the new CIBC headquarters straight ahead. I wonder if they regret investing so much into office space at this time. All right, I'm just gonna try to cross the street. That's some pretty vicious glare looking westward from here. And this is Union Station just on the left, where you can connect to various commuter rail lines through the GO system. That'll usher you out to the suburbs. That's the Royal York Hotel. There are GO buses as well. And the Up Express, a train that'll take you to Pearson Airport, although not many people can be going there lately. And of course a streetcar and subway station as part of the TTC Union Station. That's the Royal York Hotel right there. Alright, I'm gonna head down into the PATH system, which is connected to Union Station. It's a large underground network that connects most of the office buildings in the financial district. It's more or less a giant shopping mall. And for the colder months, it provides a nice alternative to walking around outside. You certainly see a stark contrast in the number of people at street level in the summer versus the winter. And the PATH would be the reason for it. So here's where you could take line 1 of the subway. This is sort of the bottom of the horseshoe shape. So one side will head north up Yonge Street, and the other side will head north up University Avenue. You could also grab the Harbourfront streetcar, and normally the Bathurst streetcar. From there as well. And we are in the PATH. The last time I was down here was a few months ago filming a video. There's a number of food courts. Pretty much near every major office tower you'll find a food court, although they will not be open for dine-in service after tomorrow. And a number of restaurants in the food court near my home at the Yonge and Eglinton Centre have recently reopened. So I guess it pretty much sucks to be them now. A lot of people complain that the path is quite confusing, and if you haven't worked down here and used it on a regular basis, I certainly would agree with that assessment. I think I know it pretty well though. This is a pizza takeout place. It doesn't look like they've been operating during the shutdown. I'm sure a lot of places haven't been. I would be surprised if these offices are even running at 20% capacity, especially in the financial district that are dominated by the big banks and insurance companies that sort of have the infrastructure to set up their employees to work from home. And the places that are open are probably operating on a skeleton staff type basis. So just up ahead is King Street and First Canadian Place. In a previous video, I have made a right-hand turn here and gone to King Station, but I'm going to wander left and work my way up north. I should be able to find my way all the way up to pretty much City Hall. It looks like the LCBO is open here as well. There's where you would grab the elevator bays up First Canadian Place, and that King Taps restaurant that was shut down is located just up there. There's a very large food court on the second floor, just in that direction. And normally, on a Friday at this hour, this hall in particular would be packed with people marching towards St. Andrew Station. And it looks like all of the businesses on this side here have closed and are in the process of being replaced. That looks rather delicious. We'll be curious to come back in a year and see if any of these places are even open. Oh, this bakery on the corner is gone. Oh, there it is, Brick Street Bakery. There's a McCafe just on the right here where I used to get my coffee every morning. Even that's not open. That's surprising. Our cafe is temporarily closed. I guess if too many cafes open up, no one's going to be making any money. I wonder if they drew straws or how they determined who was going to open or not. The Starbucks is closed here. There's an Aroma Cafe just to the left here. I wonder if they're even open. And that straight ahead, where it says 150 King, will continue on towards St. Andrew Station. I'm going to start wandering north here. It is only 5 p.m. Long weekend or no weekend, I can't get over what a ghost town it is still. I think Ontario just broke its record for a number of positive cases in a day. It was something over 900, and Toronto was identified as one of the hot spots. They'll be forced to close off this area to dining as of midnight. This is new, this butter chicken roti. That wasn't there when I used to work here a few years back. I was quite a regular at this Burger King though. That used to be a convenience store. It's already a jewelry store, which may or may not regret the decision to move in here. There's a large food court just up here to the right. And a mini shop, or mini sew. It's kind of a high-end dollar store style store. For me, it's always a place to buy socks whenever I'm on vacation. It's quite prevalent throughout some parts of the world, and it's recently invaded the Toronto area. This is 111 Richmond, where you will find Google Canada, at least for now, until they move into their new headquarters on King Street East. And now I'm in the area of the Sheraton Hotel. The path gets decidedly dated looking in this area. Looks kind of like a 80s shopping mall. And the retailers and restaurants in this part of the path tend to be a little less expensive than what you'll find in the rest of the area. I didn't hear anything about restrictions on salons, which is good, as I'm in dire need of a haircut. Access to the Bay and Thompson building is closed. Good to know. Here's a food court I used to frequent, and Mr. Souvlaki is still there. The owners of this place are terrifically nice people. Noodle King, China Walk, Hero Burger. This area is recently renovated. There used to be a Bitcoin ATM in this new stand, I believe. This part also used to have kind of that older, grimier feel to it, like the area I just walked through. All right, and if it says door broken, please use other door. This should lead me up to Bay and Queen Street with a nice view of the Old City Tall Tower. And that is the Eaton Centre, just off to the west there. And there's a look down Bay Street. I was kind of curious as to what that commotion was on University Avenue. I wonder if it's still there or not. I'll cross over and take a look at the Toronto sign at City Hall. It's always curious how people dress on a day like this. I even saw some people in Canada Goose jackets. So once again, I'm at City Hall. Oh, you can actually see the wrapping around the Toronto sign. I've always been here at night. That's kind of neat.
Drinking, dinner's on me, and I'm like,
Okay, I'm gonna head over to University Avenue just to see if something's going on over there. I probably missed it. Queen's Park, which is the provincial legislative building, is located just up University Avenue, so it's possible that there was a protest heading that way. It may even have been reactionary to today's earlier announcement. There's often anti-mask and anti-lockdown protests going on Saturday afternoons, I believe. It's a shame the area up around City Hall is closed. There's a nice second floor outdoor area that provides quite stunning views of the city. It's kind of a big garden area that has not been open during this lockdown. There's some police on bikes rolling through. Excuse me, officer. What's going on University?
there's a demo.
Oh, thank you. All right, let's go see what this demo is. Interesting bonus to the end of this walk. Maybe I'll fire up a separate video. I don't know. You almost tell the officer was so used to there being demos. He just decided not to bother with explaining what it was for. He was like, there's a demo. And that's all I'm gonna tell you. I don't blame him. Not that people don't have the right to peacefully protest. Of course they do. And I have no idea what this is about.
You all know, you hear the word, you've heard so much from people from the ground. So give them a piece of your mind, please.
Okay, so this is to get the police off of Indigenous land.
905 561 1700. That's the number on the list. There's also a 1-800 number, but I'll say it one more time. 905 561 1700. We'll also post it to the event page.
All right, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this walk through the financial district and the path. There are links to my Patreon and Instagram in the description. Also, you can sign up for channel memberships if that's something you're interested in. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I will catch you on the next one.